The Colour of Friendship is an incredibly interesting film. Going into this, I wasn't sure if it would feel awkward and uncomfortable, but actually it's so well executed. It's such a powerful film with so many interesting characters and character responses. This is a Disney film from 2000. This is directed by Kevin Hooks, written by Paris Qualles, with a cast including Shadia Simmons, Lindsey Haun, Carl Lumbly, Penny Johnson, and various others. And this is set in the 1970s. And Mahree is white and lives in South Africa. Piper is black and lives in the US. Both are teenage girls. And Piper's family is actually acting as a host family for Mahree, and both are assuming that the other is the opposite colour. Living in America, Piper is assumed to be white. And coming from South Africa, they assume that Mahree is going to be black. And they meet quite early on in the film. The pacing to begin with is not too bad. And their initial responses to each other when they realise that both characters are not the colour they were expecting, it's really fascinating. Their responses are really interesting. And it's all about learning that a lot of what they believed to be true wasn't in fact true. Learning about their similarities, their differences, putting aside any preconceived notions that they had, and actually learning about each other from themselves. And I think it's such a fascinating concept for two reasons. One, just as a topic, I think it's absolutely brilliant. But the fact that it's set in the 1970s makes it, well, believable, first of all. Obviously, if this was set in even 2000, I feel like there would be an element of ignorance there. As I feel like it would be less believable that they would just assume the American would be white. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But certainly having it set in the 70s does make it feel a lot more believable. And certainly for me watching it, it's a very fascinating experience with some very well-written, believable character responses. Initially, it felt uncomfortable. But I think that's less because of what was happening and the way the characters reacted, and more so because I wasn't sure the direction in which the film was going. I wasn't sure how things would unfold. So I guess the discomfort comes from the not knowing. And then as the narrative develops, it becomes much more easy to watch. And it's, as I said, feels believable. Their reactions feel realistic. None of the characters are really insensitive. They're just more shocked, surprised. What they thought they knew is being challenged. Such is the point of the narrative, of course. The characters are really likeable. They're very well written. The performances are great. While it's addressing quite a complex, potentially very heavy topic, I do think it's okay for younger viewers, certainly because of the age of the protagonists. If this were made for adult viewers, I think it could maybe take a different direction, but certainly for the target audience, I think they've done a decent job with the way the story has been told and gets the point across, or the various points, really effectively. Visually, it's good with great camera work and lighting, a good use of sound. It is a decent film that feels quite timeless in its approach to storytelling and very important in representing attitudes that are mainly, but probably not exclusively, of the past. The Colour of Friendship is one about which I was quite nervous, but I didn't need to be. It is a solid film, brilliant narrative, very well executed. It has a lot to offer, and I'm certainly happy to recommend it.